an independent investigation for this. And we will insist on this. We are grateful to UN Secretary General because of his effort to establish a commission to investigate the case. We are ready to cooperate with any commission which is independent, transparent, and efficient. Therefore, we supported this initiative of UN Secretary General. Yesterday, he called our Prime Minister, and our Prime Minister will give full support to this initiative. We want to know the fact. If Israel rejects these, it means it is also another proof of their guilt. They are not self-confident to face the facts. We are ready, and as Turkey, as international community, many other actors called for this independent inquiry, and as Turkey we will support this. And this is not an issue between Turkey and Israel, because there were civilians from 32 countries in these ships. It is a problem between Israel and international community. It is a problem between Israel and international law. Therefore, it is the mission of United Nations, based on the presidential statement 31st of May, there should be an inquiry. We will continue to work for this.
Mr. Foreign Minister, is it possible that on this issue, over this issue, Turkey may break relations with Israel altogether?
It depends on Israeli reaction. Look, Israel, one of the reasons why Israel is implementing blockade against Gaza is Gilad Shalit case. One Israeli soldier was captured by Hamas in 2006. For the last 4 years, Israel made it an important case, and we respect this. But they also should respect to our request why our 9 citizens were killed in international waters, in high sea. Nobody can touch. No country has right to touch ships traveling in international waters, and nobody has the right to kill our citizens. Therefore, we will follow this case, and we will insist to have an independent commission to study this case. We will take all international legal action to defend the rights of our citizens. Mr. Zakaria, it is very important for Turkey, because in the history of Turkish Republic, first time our citizens were attacked by a state intentionally and being targeted. During the Cold War, we had problems with Soviet Union, and we were members of as a member of NATO. Of course, we had difficult times with Soviet Union, but Soviet Union did not kill any of our citizens. Now there are 9 citizens, Turkish citizens, who were killed by Israelis by a state action. It is not a terrorist group. It is a state who acted against our citizens, and we will follow this case in all international fora.
One of the citizens had an American passport. Do you believe that the United States government...
Yes, that's right.
Is the United States government responding adequately? You initially said that you were unhappy with the American response.
Yes, you are right. One citizen has dual citizenship. He was Furkan Doğan. He was American citizen as well. Therefore, American administration has certain responsibility, of course, to respond to the request of the family of its citizen. Yes, and until now, of course, we were expecting much more proactive approach in responding to this crisis.
And so far, you still feel the American response is inadequate?
No, we had a good cooperation with the American administration. I had a very good meeting with Secretary Clinton. President Obama called our Prime Minister, especially regarding to rescue our citizens and other passengers from Israel, taking them back to Turkey. We are grateful for their support. But unfortunately, we are very, very upset because of their vote no, rejecting the motion in Human Rights Council in Geneva for establishing a fact-finding mission. We were expecting a full support from our American allies, of course.
There are some reports, Mr. Foreign Minister, that there is going to be another flotilla, a Turkish flotilla that approaches Gaza, and the Prime Minister Erdogan is going to be on it. Can you confirm that?
No. Prime Minister Erdogan doesn't have such an intention. And again, let me underline, this Freedom Flotilla was absolutely an NGO activity. We, as Turkish government, we didn't encourage them, but it was a civilian activity. We are a democratic society. We cannot stop any protester, even in the streets of Istanbul. So it is absolutely an NGO activity. It was a civilian and international activity. Therefore, we are not, we cannot say anything against them. If there is a new attempt, again, within the framework of this civilian approach, we cannot say anything against them. But if another country attacks to this civilian convoy and kills our citizens, of course, we have full right to ask why. Did they send a rocket to Israel during this protest or during this convoy to carry humanitarian aid to Gaza? Did they send rocket to Israel? No. Did they violate territory of Israeli territory? No. Did they violate Israeli territorial sea? No. Did they harm any Israeli citizen? No. Why were they killed? This is a valid question, and we will ask this question in all international fora.
And we will be back in just a moment with more from the Turkish Foreign Minister, Ahmet Davutoglu. Foreign Minister Ahmet Davutoglu. Mr. Foreign Minister, an Israeli official has described the Turkish NGO that sponsored this flotilla as an organization with ties to terror groups. Can you confirm or deny that?
How can we call them a terrorist group if there is even one Nobel winner in the group? And there is a very high-level representative of Catholic Church, and there are members of parliament from Europe. There are several leading intellectuals and journalists. If anybody wants, I think they should look at the list of the passengers. And I am challenging, there is a valid question here. If somebody argues that there is a terrorist in the ship, they can give the name to Turkey and we will follow the case. But if they are not terrorists and civilians, then Israel must be accountable for that. But if there is any accusation, any of the passengers, let us share this. We are ready, if there is any terrorist, we are ready to investigate and to look at it. But if there is no terrorists among the passengers, then there is a question to be asked to Israel. Why did they kill them?
For decades, Mr. Foreign Minister, your country and Israel described themselves as allies. Are you currently an ally of Israel's?
Not only for a long time. In 2008, Turkey was mediating in the indirect talks between Israel and Syria, and I was the mediator. And Prime Minister Erdogan had several meetings with Prime Minister Olmert in 2008. And in fact, 1 week before Gaza attacks by Israel, Prime Minister Erdogan on Monday was in the residence of Prime Minister Olmert was in the residence of Prime Minister Erdogan to discuss the details of the indirect talks. So what happened? The main change was the change of Israeli politics. When they changed their policy from the negotiations to the violence, from the peace to the tension, then of course we had to respond.
So your problem is more with Prime Minister Netanyahu than with Israel, you think?
No, with any administration which uses violence and tension in our region, we will be against it. Let me share another interesting issue. In fact, on Tuesday last week, I was supposed to meet with Prime Minister Netanyahu in Washington. I changed even the appointment was fixed to discuss the details of indirect talks between Israel and Syria. And we got the confirmation from Syrian side, so that I was planning to come to Washington to discuss the details with Prime Minister Netanyahu. But on Monday, they attacked these civilian ships, civilian convoy, and they destroyed, again, another possibility of negotiation in our region. So our policy is clear. In the history, Turkish-Jewish relation was excellent. Turkey has been safe haven for many Jewish generations throughout the centuries. Turkish relation with people of Israel is very good as well. Israeli tourists, when they come to Turkey, they feel home. And Turkey, there are many Turkish origin Israeli citizens living in Israel. But we have problems with the existing Israeli administration and policies. And Turkey was one of the first countries recognizing Israel. But now we cannot tolerate the policies of tension, the policies of blockade against Gaza, the policies of punishment, collective punishment of the Palestinian people, and the policy of attacking civilians in international sea, international waters. That we cannot tolerate. Turkey has responsibilities in the surrounding regions, in Middle East, in Caucasia, in Balkans. We have historical ties, and we will not tolerate these policies. But when they are back to negotiation table, when they are ready to implement policies in order to achieve sustainable peace in our region, Turkey will be ready to work with such an administration in Israel.
Mr. Foreign Minister, there are many people who believe that Turkey is turning away from the West. And I know in the break we discussed the comments I made at the beginning of the show, and you said that you wanted to comment on them. There are many people who believe you are the architect of this shift away from a Western foreign policy.
Let me say a few words about the assumptions you mentioned. One is the perception that Turkey is a troublemaker. Is that right? I will give you some examples. Turkey, as I mentioned, started and mediated indirect talks between Israel and Syria. Turkey organized Afghanistan-Pakistan Turkey Trilateral Summit and Regional Summit this year. Turkey has been very active in political reconciliation in Iraq and convinced Sunni groups to participate elections in 2005 when there was a huge tension between Sunnis and Shiites. Turkey was very influential in Lebanese nation reconciliation. Therefore, our Prime Minister was invited for the presidential ceremony of President Michel Süleyman in 2008. Turkey has been very active in Balkans, and only last month, Turkey organized a big event summit between Bosnian and Serbian presidents. President Tadic and President Slajic met in Istanbul with our President Gül. Turkey has been very active in when there was a war in Gaza, and in fact, through Turkish negotiation, I am declaring here, through Turkish negotiation, Hamas was convinced to accept a ceasefire. So in all this, again, even in the Caucasia, Turkey has been very active during the war between Georgia and Russia and proposed a Caucasian stability platform.
Mr. Foreign Minister,
only 2 weeks ago, just 1 second, only 2 weeks ago we had Somalia conference, peace conference in Istanbul. So Turkey has been promoting policies of mediation, multilateralism, engagement, conflict resolution. In no place we made any trouble, and we are not troublemaker at all. And Turkey is not moving away from the West. In last 7 years, Turkish-European Union relation became a relation of negotiation and full membership, in the direction of full membership.
Mr. Foreign Minister,
last 50 years.
Here's what I'll make you a deal, Mr. Foreign Minister. This is a very important topic, and you will come to New York, or I will come to Ankara or Istanbul, and we will continue talking about it, but we have to get out at this point. I should mention we had asked for an interview with Prime Minister Netanyahu, Foreign Minister Lieberman, any Israeli official. Unfortunately, we were not